So here's the thing, I was gonna say, Ether and Paimon have a habit of running headfirst into danger, but this is not a good idea. We are in a metal box underneath the ocean at like the kind of pressures that will kill you. And if that's not enough, the water itself is also poisoned. I don't think this is a headfirst into danger sort of scenario, and yet we're gonna do it anyway. Go to the Forbidden Zone. Do I really want to? Where does this door go? This just takes us. Uh-oh.
They're here.
Just like I said.
I know, we couldn't help ourselves. I think we should run.
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Yeah, I think we should run. Risley! There's a lot of poisonous purple water. Oh, that was cool. He froze it. That's not gonna hold for very long. Get going!
Three, two.
Three. What are you counting to? Oh. Okay. Made it through the doors.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette.
No, it won't.
Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
How do we contact him? How do we contact Neuvillette?
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
Like 5 minutes.
Depends on us.
You were talking about incredibly pressurized water. Like, it's not gonna hold for very long. Oh, that's not good. This is not good at all. I hear water.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Why are we here already? We're back at the opera. Don't we have to take that entire tunnel, like, several kilometers long to get here? I guess if you're a good runner, you can do that in, like, 20 minutes.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Furina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Furina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Okay, you can explain everything else to me later. Wait, Furina will be meeting with the knave there. Oh no. Because he was warning us Furina is afraid of Arlecchino, right? Uh-oh.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Okay, we swap places. Our prison sentence is over. I guess we're not going there. Like I said, this is here. And this is over here. What comes if we go back there? And we shouldn't. I don't have time to deal with this. Okay, thanks. just to satiate my curiosity there. La-di-da-di-da, everyone's having a good time up here. The world is about to end. You're all about to get dissolved into nothing. Well, maybe not nothing. Maybe not nothing. After all, we did see what happened to Marcel and the Fountain of Lucine. Okay, there's a lot of Fatui there.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
You guys a little bit nervous to meet
Are you two
Arlecchino?
the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm
Thanks.
sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Furina to the best of your abilities.
Yeah, I will try. Furina and I have not had the best relationship, but I'm definitely sure she's gonna owe me one on this. That being said, of course, you say cordial conversation, but as I pointed out before, from the Wanderer's voice line about her, she puts on a cordial front. Anyone who's seen her real self has gone poof. She is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Let's not forget that here. Something tells me this is not gonna go as pleasantly as Neuvillette is hoping it will for us. Just be there and make sure nothing bad happens. Alright. Very stressful. Hi. Aww. I'm glad she's happy to see us.
So you two are the honored guests Miss Furina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
This is a big jump after we've spent 45 days in prison to be doing this with Furina. But yes, I'm sure Ether has not forgotten how to, you know, be able to act cordially and fancifully at a tea party, right?
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have
love her
heard much of
sleeves.
your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui
Her eyes are so
harbingers.
scary. Nice to meet you. So this is the Knave, the head of the House of the Hearth, and the Linny siblings' father. She certainly does not seem to be easy to deal with. Pleasure to meet you too.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Oh, you gave us cake!
Perhaps
Remember
you two
when-
are unaware of how Miss Furina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time.
Remember we
See
got into
this?
prison though for eating
This
cake.
is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Furina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day.
This is what we went to prison for in the
Here.
first place, is eating
Why
the
don't
cake.
you and Paimon have a
Right?
taste?
She seems friendly enough, but that can't be all there is to her. The Knave's a force to be reckoned with. I should be very cautious around her.
Traveler,
Smart plan.
what do you think of this cake?
I'm not sure, because last time we went to prison. But it seems quite tasty, and I think Paimon agrees too.
That's good to hear. So what Childe said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Furina and I.
He said that about us? Wait, Chad should have no reason to say something like that. Yeah, that doesn't sound like something he
I
would
wonder
say.
how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know.
No, you're not.
Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
I don't think you're that worried about him. I think you just know that whatever trouble he gets into is somehow going to... I don't even know. Yeah, that doesn't sound like something he would say about us. Since when has he seen us eat dessert? I have faith in his abilities? Question mark?
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really
That's true.
looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Furina looked quite either impressed or scared when she saw him fight in the Opera Epiclese. Well, she looked mostly shocked. But it was a pretty cool fight scene. Furina looks quite nervous. There must be some kind of bad blood between her and the Knave. Oh yeah, for sure. What it is yet, I don't know, but...
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Furina. Oh, right. I almost forgot.
I like her earrings.
Childe was subdued by Udex Neuvillette right in front of you.
She looks so fancy.
Against
I
ordinary
like that.
people,
I like
Childe
her...
would never be on
The
the
thing
back
she has
foot.
for her ponytail. Like that hair
Alas,
clip.
He
that looks
just
like-
never
like
imagined
feathers.
he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
Yeah. And then I should find a few leads on his whereabouts. Yeah, we didn't compile a formal report for you yet because we literally just stepped out of prison, but we'll just tell you.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
Okay.
But I...
Oh, I wrote her hair clip. It looks like the way her hair is done in the front as well, with that sort of like feather
Of course,
look.
but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news
The
somewhat
silver and
earlier.
red kind of
As
color
you well
contrast,
know,
though.
A long time has passed since Childe disappeared.
That's true.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Childe is still alive.
Okay, Hannah, we don't know for sure.
And
But we
just
know
how
this.
do you know that?
Chansey's not
Because,
dead.
because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meropide.
And where did
Something
he
like
go
that.
after leaving the fortress?
We don't know. Paimon's statement just left us wide open. We don't know exactly, Paimon. Don't be.
The fortress
Play your
of
cards
Meropide
correctly.
lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
You know that Paimon gets a piece of cake, but not her own teacup? No, we do not. But there's also no evidence he was injured or killed.
That is good news, at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was
Aww.
unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any
Okay.
idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
Yes. Yes, but I'm not sure. Are you... What is the... What are you gambling here? Are you expecting that he's not going to be able to write the letter himself? She's turning up the pressure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to convince her, but I can at least try to distract her from Furina. That sounds good to me, yes.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't
And
matter
that does
so
sound like
much
something
how
Childe would
it's written
say.
or
It
how it's worded.
it just doesn't seem genuine to... What?
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come.
But the room is not
Miss
shaking.
Furina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Is it shaking because Furina's nervous and she's the Hydro Archon?
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Alright. The music faded away. Alright, explain. Alright, we're seeing a real Arlecchino. Uh-oh. Alright, we're still at the gate.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Look at them
Sounds about
willingly
right.
turning a blind eye, whatever happens here. Neuvillette. What are you doing?
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
He's reversing the whole thing.
This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Wow. Then what's the next phase of the prophecy? What does that mean then?
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed.
He did
But
it.
only for now.
But
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
We all know he's
Shouldn't you have gotten
hiding
used to
secret
confidential
strength.
missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
Oh,
I
like,
was under the impression the residents of a place like
apocalypse
this
is
would be
stopped for now. Let's
uninterested
just
in the
chill
legal
out and hang out
codices.
right now.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Something tells me that's not the case. I hope everything's gonna go great with those guys up there. That
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss
a
Furina,
real face.
as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong.
No, she's not
I've never
wrong.
ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract
then what
your
do you have to show
accusation
for this
and
time
stop
you've spent
doubting
then?
the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
But what good will that do you when... What good will that do you when nothing... Just holding your head up high if there's no one around you to worship you and recognize that divinity of yours. Furina's not acting like her usual self. She's actually seriously refuting the knave's accusations. She means what she says. She's not putting on a front. I think so too. I just don't think the content of her words is that strong yet.
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is
Yeah.
it doing to help?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that she has real confidence in that moment there. That's the thing is, it's true that I've sensed her insecurity and like her putting on a front and just trying to save face a lot of this time. And what she just said did sound like real confidence. Except if you just listen to what she's actually saying, it does sound like she's still going in circles of not having an answer to the question. So that was all a lie, or can she really not tell us? She was so full of conviction and confidence just now, but now she's deflated like a popped balloon.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time.
Yeah,
it
but
is just that beings like yourself
that's not helping people's
unable
confidence
to
in you at the
perceive
moment.
them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes.
Well, but
Allow
her
me
eyes
to
are
be
different.
so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
Yeah, wait a second. You don't have an emergency response plan for a flood in a nation of water?
It is also strictly confidential.
Well, that's
Then
not
allow me
good.
to jog your memory. Miss Furina,
Hang
what
on,
is
okay.
the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal?
Okay, before we get into that, because that's a big question I want to know. We have flooding emergency response plans here, in many places in our world, and we don't even have the impending disaster of mass flooding with poisonous primordial water. It is just the fact that if you live in a place near water, that could happen. Furina, if you keep the emergency response plan confidential, nobody will know what to do in the emergency. And yeah, I know she's just saying that to buy herself time, because the answer is no, she doesn't have one, but like... I'm just trying to figure out if there's any way we can jump in to save this conversation when, in reality, I don't think Arlecchino is 100% wrong. Actually, I don't think she's wrong at all. What I do think is wrong is I have a bad feeling about what she's about to do, and I think that might not be pleasant. But do tell me about the Oratrice. Because I'm telling you, I think that the Gnosis is inside the Oratrice. That's what I've been saying this whole time.
And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated
That
over
too.
the years?
All this energy.
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
I don't think Furina knows what the Oratrice actually
So you
is.
also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone
think it
is
was
not
left by the
you,
previous-
Miss Furina.
The previous Hydro
I
Archon probably
first
left
caught wind
it.
of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even
Okay.
if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon?
Wait, if he got contaminated, does that mean he got sick from it? All we know is that he heard voices when he was down there, right? My prediction, though, is that the Oratrice was left by the previous Hydro Archon and the Gnosis is in there. But, okay, I meant to mention this earlier, too. What does Childe have to do with any of this? And why did the Oratrice sentence him for a crime that he didn't commit? The only thing I can think of is that crime had a lot to do with primordial water. And I think something about the primordial water is calling to him as well. There's some connection between them there. But that still doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Furina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves,
The
everyone.
cake does look good. These aren't the topics I can speak about. I didn't even know what Neuvillette's task was. If I had to guess, he probably went down to deal with the surging Primordial Sea. But can he really deal with it all by himself? And is Furina being truthful or not? Probably not.
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why
That's
don't you take
true,
an extra
yes.
slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Oh, thanks for crediting
Paimon will
Paimon.
take you up on that offer.
But I think that was a little bit of a dig at Furina. The knave proceeds to change the topic and brings up a number of less significant matters. You know, the atmosphere changes. I didn't read the rest.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave.
I think
for
her hair is
bringing these
glowing,
over
though,
as
a lot.
well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss
Well,
Furina's
the cake
tastes,
doesn't
seeking a chance to chat
feel...
over tea.
What are you
It is getting
saying?
late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Okay.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Childe before I must be on my way.
I don't really want to walk around alone with you, but sure. Sure, why not?
Too.
Oh, thank you, Paimon. I'm glad that you're coming along.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm
Is
just
something the
checking in
matter?
on you.
If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Okay. These bubbles, I cannot use bubbles. I will just take my leave as of the moment. How long is that seal that Neuvillette put on the water gonna hold up? Whatever the case, though, he seems to be able to control the primordial water and move it very well. A lot of it, under a lot of pressure. And, thank goodness for that, right? Hi.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Childe was just an excuse.
Yeah, I
have no
figured.
interest in your dealings with him.
I know.
That's what Paimon thought.
What do you want?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
No need. But thanks. Is there nothing else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just
Okay.
returned from the Fortress of Meropide. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
Okay.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
Yeah.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with.
Mm-hmm. That he
It's
is,
unfortunate
yes.
that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina?
I don't know if we should be talking bad about somebody in their house. I think we should exit out first.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine.
But yeah, I
able to
suppose we
move
do have some
around most
perspectives.
easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
Okay.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Childe was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meropide.
Okay.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused?
Well, he just it's not a.
Forget it. He did give us an opportunity.
Okay.
I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Yeah.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
I like that outfit though. That is actually a really cool take on the Pyro Fatui outfit. Hang on. That she's using to hide there. I know, she's just enjoying
Dare
life.
to run from me? Stop right this instant!
Okay, that's the thing about Furina. If you want my take, I mean, definitely very full of herself. Somewhat selfish. Acts like the world is her playground and everyone exists to serve her. And is really taken with people's infatuation with her. Really loves the attention. But a lot of the times she seems really insecure as well. When everything doesn't go to her plan or to her image of how things should be, she has no way of improvising. She's not very quick at thinking. She doesn't really know what to say, and she really shows signs of not really believing in herself, which indicates that she is a very different person inside than what she's like on the outside. And combine that with her character card, where it says that, you know, her tears are washed away by the Fountain of Lucine. You never know how lonely somebody can be. How somebody could be surrounded by people and yet not possibly feel any more lonely. That's my impression. Unfortunately, considering she has large amounts of power and influence in this country, I suppose people do expect better from her, don't they? That all those things about her are not necessarily bad, except when everybody's looking to you to save them. Then it might be a little bit, you know, not the best position to be in. Like, not the best combination of traits.
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But
Cat.
no one will blame someone for taking
Oh my gosh, she looks so scary, but I
After
love that
all,
outfit
From
though.
the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning.
She is just very, very carefree.
I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not mention this incident to anyone.
Yeah.
Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
Yeah.
There's
She's
no
a
doubt
different
that there's
person on the
something
inside
wrong
than she is
with
on the
her.
outside.
I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
I've been thinking about that too. I don't think that's true. Well, because I think I have an idea of who Neuvillette is. But I will say, they do both have the, their hair fades to the hydro color. So...
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
Oh, look at them!
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meropide. Master Childe has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities.
Okay, so
Set
does it
up a
work out?
meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Okay.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Furina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meropide will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
Okay. Great, so it seems like you have a lot of plans. Is there anything else I can help you with?
You should know the rest. Linny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
Okay.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Furina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Yeah.
Alright
She doesn't want
then.
to show weakness.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Furina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I guess it's not that Furina doesn't want to show weakness, but it's more that she doesn't want to show vulnerability. She doesn't want to show the fact that she had been attacked, and she doesn't want to ask for help. Because the concept that somebody could just walk up to her and almost kill her the notion should be inconceivable to the people of Fontaine with the sort of image that she's put up. Oh, but Furina, I mean, like, that's no small thing to not report. There's a lot to unpack with Furina, for sure. She hasn't been the most likable person, but I don't think she deserves whatever is coming to her. And I surmise something big is gonna happen, because we are leading up to the finale of this story soon, I think. I just don't think it's gonna be great for her, and I do feel bad for her in that way. Yeah, Neuvillette, not the Hydro Archon. How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Furina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon.
Well, you haven't met the other Archons either. But I'm not sure they wouldn't necessarily fit the bill either for what you're thinking. Even though I do agree that I don't think it's Neuvillette or Furina. Or I do think it is Furina. What we've learned from the story with Nahida is that what it means to be an Archon, and I guess from all the Archons, what it means to be an Archon is different for everybody. It's true that Furina does not act the part. But similar to how only Nahida is just learning what it really means to take on her role for the first time after finally being freed, it's almost like Furina still hasn't learned yet either. That she's still new to it all. And just hasn't taken the initiative to really grow to that part yet.
Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue
I do think
to
we
evolve.
might need her help at some
And
point.
as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm
Hi.
sure we will work together someday.
I think so too. I think whether we like it or not, we're gonna end up having to work with her at some point. Hi, Neuvillette.
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Okay. Oh, she was quick to leave once he showed up.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Furina.
I'm not sure how great of a job we did there, but you're welcome. May we ask what happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate.
For now. For now. I mean, I don't know. I mean... Yes, you put a magic seal on it, but on the other hand, like... Ether is amazing at breaking magic seals that have sealed off long hidden places, like the Chasm and Enkanomiya, and like all sorts of other hidden places we've broken into. So if we can do it, I'm sure something else could do it too. So I agree, that's really not gonna hold forever. What happened on our side? This is what happened with the tea party and Arlecchino.
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Furina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
I have confidence Furina is the Hydro Archon. I just think she hasn't really learned what this title really means to her yet. In a way... Okay, do you remember when Nahida's character card came out? It was narrated by Neuvillette. That was the first time we heard from Neuvillette. And it said something along the lines of, you know, that she is so wise and looks out for her people. If only somebody else out there, somebody else wouldn't be so prone to hysterics. And so we all predicted that he was talking about, you know, the Hydro Archon, which turned out to be pretty true. But it's almost like that sort of contrast. So first of all, I'm assuming that Furina was also born around 500 years ago, like Nahida, even though Nahida's supposed to be younger. But just the difference of, you know, Nahida being locked away for so many years, and yet feeling this innate duty to have to protect the people, to do everything she can, even though she couldn't, even though she was locked away. It's like she's young and yet she has so much maturity, and that's part of what makes her the god of wisdom. That's what we learn about her. I think we're going to see something similar with Furina and her sense of justice. She's almost been the opposite then, right? She's been carefree and loves just having fun, almost like a child, which would explain why it's almost like she sees the world as her playground, because she doesn't have that maturity like Nahida has. But they both Nahida and Furina seem to deal with that insecurity, that lack of confidence, that feeling that they're not living up to something. And I mean, that's what I sense from Furina as well, although she hasn't outwardly said that. But, you know, we saw her playing with cats and stuff like that. She was just, you know, and having fun. She doesn't have that sense of duty to her people yet, like Nahida did, even though Nahida couldn't do anything about it. Or she could barely do anything, but she tried to reach out through the Akasha system, and was able to at times. They're almost like opposites in that way. And yet, I think in this last act, Furina will learn what her role really means to her. And once she learns that, that's when she's going to become the real Archon that she is. But yeah, can I ask you some questions? I mean, I know we already did, but now we have new questions.
Permission granted.
You have enough power to force back the Primordial Sea. Does this mean that you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's
I
just
don't
a speculation on our part, though.
But explain. We're good at keeping secrets.
Can't tell us?
I know we said that we're not, but
Then
it
that's
depends on
okay.
what the secret
We
is.
can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
This guy's funny. And yeah, just seeing once again the contrast between Neuvillette and Furina as well. Neuvillette, like, you know, he seems a lot older and wiser. You know, it's like Furina is chaotic, and Neuvillette is the order, and it's like the balance. Really, it's like these two together need to be around to rule Fontaine. That's what it's like. It's like Neuvillette is really the one who's paying attention to everything and running things. But he doesn't like to be open and you know, he doesn't share very much. So it's like Furina, I mean, that's the thing is Furina is almost like a puppet leader, right? But she's so good at that, being charismatic and, you know, winning people's attention and also winning their love and affection as well. I mean, that's the thing, is that's actually no small feat either. I mean, that deserves some credit as well. To be able to make people want to like you. Albeit with not very much to back that up, which I think she could have more of. But you know, in a certain sense that makes it more impressive, although a little bit deceiving. I mean, a lot deceiving. Yeah. But it's good to have somebody with some integrity around here. What did you sense in the Fortress of Meropide? Did you manage to protect those that needed to be defended?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it
It's
raining all of a
raining!
sudden?
The clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier, light rain soon, okay. And just moments ago, Neuvillette had just mentioned his sense of grief. Thinking back to that legend, and what Furina said, it said that a dragon water once resided in Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the skies would cloud up and pour out rain. Yeah, I figured. I didn't catch on at first until I saw a couple fan art pieces that had like Femine and Neuvillette. And Neuvillette would be sad, and Femine said, Hydro Dragon, don't cry. And then it'd be sunny again. Once I saw that, I thought to myself, wait, that's right. It started it started raining. Lenny said that it starts raining whenever there's a trial going on. And then after Navia yelled at Neuvillette, it started to rain outside too on a perfectly clear day. And I was like, oh, you're right. Neuvillette, you can't be.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Yeah.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's the dragon sovereign of water.
The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
It's a little bit obvious once you think about it too much.
Furina?
Furina?
Neuvillette, are you listening?
Ah, my apologies.
Is she actually there?
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the
What do you mean
dragon
guessing
sovereign of
randomly?
water,
Ether knew.
right? Well, if you don't
Sure,
wanna
he was
confirm or
sure of
deny-
that answer before he said it.
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Don't worry, we're
right,
excellent
of
at
course.
keeping
We'll definitely help you keep it a secret.
secrets for the gods and other divine
There's
beings.
still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, and you were able to force back the Primordial Sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Teyvat, they seized a part of the dragon's
It's been a while
power.
since we've heard
Today,
that term.
that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't
I
solve
guess
it.
maybe we need to give Furina
I
a
still
pep
have
talk.
some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Okay.
Please go right ahead. There's a
Wait,
place that Paimon
wait a
wants
minute.
to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meropide? Paimon is a little worried.
We just did the world quest with Lemaire and Elenas. Was Elenas the previous water dragon? Okay, sure. We'll see you later, Neuvillette.
We'll see you another
See you
time.
another time.
Take care.
Thank you for leaving us drenched in the rain. Furina wasn't actually there, was she? She walks over here, right? Oh, it's sunny now. Thank you, Neuvillette, for making things sunny again. We should go up there and try to get that Hydroculus. I mean, the quest is not over. I can see that. So we confirmed it. Neuvillette is the water dragon. So are you trying to tell me though that? So first of all, we say dragon sovereigns. Does this also include Dvalin and Ajdaha and? Well, not Ajdaha. Ajdaha was created by Zhongli. But Dvalin and Apep. I don't think Orbashi counts either. Orbashi was a different god. But somehow they're not full. They don't have their full dragon powers. Because they are pretty strong. Unless they're not the dragon sovereigns he's talking about. Uh-oh. We still have a ways to go. Oh, that's good. See? I used my skill. Alright. That actually kind of correlates with what I just said, though. That Fontaine needs to be run between Neuvillette and Furina. These quest markers, they always seem they're all around me, but they're not. But, we learned a little bit about that in Ankonomiya, didn't we? That there was... That, the first usurper was a god that... The first one of the... And I don't remember how this connects to the lore of the Descenders either. But, like... There were other gods here, and then... There's other divine beings that came here from another world and took over. And that was the formation of Celestia. There was the first usurper and the second who came. And something, and it involved Istaroth. And And it led to the formation of the set of Archons that we knew until the Archon War, which narrowed it down to the 7 Archons. No, we're actually gonna make it. But yeah, it has something to do with there's dragons here before, right? And also the baptismal bishops too. Like there was like an elemental realm. That's where the dragon-like beings were from. Uh-oh. Be careful, Ether. I can't believe we made it up here. What is that place over there? What is that? There's this big gap here. Isn't Chaoying Village supposed to be between Fontaine and Leah? That should be around there somewhere. So it seems that there is some sort of, like, almost like a dam there. Except it's not a dam, it's like kind of waterfall. I want to go there. I want to go to this big tower. That looks so cool. Wow, there's a lot of things going on here and stuff. Oh, and as for keeping the secret for you, Neuvillette, no worries. We have already kept the secret for Venti and Zhongli and pretty much a lot of other people too. Like nobody knows that A and the Shogun puppet are 2 different people. Vahina's basically the only one who hasn't asked us to keep any massive secrets, like absolutely secret. So, I mean, sure, we seem to be good at not telling people about the gods. All of them that we have ever met. Let's see. Hello. It's the Gossip Guys. I forgot what their actual name was.
You guys are back?
I know, we didn't die. Surprising, right?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
No.
Huh? No,
We're actually free now.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left.
Well, we did leave. It's a long story.
We're sorry, but we just had some business
Yeah,
to take
during the apocalypse, but...
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you.
Aw,
We were
thanks.
super worried about you, you know.
Aw.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Well, I'm glad to know you guys were worried
Something
about
like that,
me.
yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those 2 all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever
I'm
he'd say that, I'd
sure
tell him
that
I'm
it was
sure
gonna be
they're
fine.
Wherever they are, they're kicking
I
back
never
with
had
guns
my
in hand,
doubts as we were
enjoying the
going
lovely
towards a
scenery.
big pressurized water chamber about
There's
to
nothing
burst.
wrong with worrying
Not
about
at
your
all.
prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
Yeah, we love it.
They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
I'm sure the welfare meals must have just skyrocketed in quality recently. Your meals will bring all the prisoners to the cafeteria. Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Aw, thanks. Let's go pick up a welfare meal. We haven't picked one up today. I haven't opened one before either. I think we can open it. Wait, where's the cafeteria? Oh, this way. So there's something waiting for us there. It's Sijuan. Hang on, can we grab our... Yeah, we can get our welfare meal. I like a welfare meal. Use. Mint jelly and fortune. After using your left cheek to strike the other person's hand, you must be sure to press on the advantage and continue attacking their hand with your right cheek. Sure. Okay. Oh, don't use that. Don't use my last trap by accident.
Sijuan!
Hi.
Traveler! Paimon, you're back!
Yeah.
Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
Don't worry, we're both doing great.
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Neuvillette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being.
That's good to hear.
Oh, of course. We must also thank you for the help you provided. How did Neuvillette know that he was needed here? Well, Monsieur Neuvillette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the Bombshell Bros.
Bombshell Bros, that's the name. Gossip guys. I mean, that's pretty good too, though, right?
How you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both all right. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days.
I'll be sure to visit
just
for
let
sure.
me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Wolsey get your meals
Yeah,
prepared.
I guess now that we're out of
Please feel free to
prison,
visit the
or I guess we're not
infirmary for a
prisoners
break
anymore,
at
we
any
get to
time.
the VIP
I'd
treatment
like
down
to
here.
take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
Aww. Well, then we'll be sure to visit.
If you can find the time, please stay at the fortress for just a while longer.
I mean, it will be nicer down here now that we are not, you know, in prison anymore. We'll go to Risley's office. Last. Oh, is Lenny and Lynette and Femine still here? Lenny, Lynette, Femine! We met the knave. She was a little bit scary. But she also looked like she didn't want to hurt us, so I guess that's a good sign. Let's see.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Hello!
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Hi!
Looks like you're recovering nicely, Fremine.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorant in
Oh, good
person.
for you!
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
You're both pretty quiet,
Okay,
so she
but
probably
check this
just
out.
didn't.
We went back to
Want
the
to.
opera house and we met the knave.
Oh yeah,
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
a lot.
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to
A bit
understand.
complicated.
And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
She almost killed Furina, but didn't. But anyway, it was a little surprising.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's
At least
fantastic.
she wasn't hostile towards us. That was
You
a
should believe her.
bonus.
She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Mm-hmm. Father
Yeah,
is very
we
capable.
just
and
met,
also
so I
trustworthy.
don't know, but maybe.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well.
Yeah, that's
said
true.
that
She
you
said
should learn how
that.
to
She
rely
said
on
that.
others sometimes.
And then he's too eager to prove himself.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Yeah.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
I guess we are. Now that we are buddies with everybody here.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
Yeah.
For real?
Where did you get
Then
the
Paimon wants
tea
another
from?
serving
Oh, I
of
guess
cake.
she got it from.
Another
And she
implies
was
that you were
knocked out, and
already
then they
served
gave her
some
tea.
delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Yeah.
We should start preparing that tea party.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm all
Me
for it.
too.
I'll help you set it up.
These three. Oh, I'm so happy. Alright. Risley caused us quite the bit of trouble, but also helped us quite a bit as well. What is your big plan with that boat you showed us, I wonder? I mean, to save everybody, yes, but I'm still wondering, how are you going to get it out from underground? If such an emergency arises. I mean, is it not Risley? Is it not him in his office? Oh, no, Laura, it is him. Okay. He is just... Oh, this place is... Oh, this is the door that opened. There's the boat. It looks so spooky. With, like, the tint and, like, the fog. Layering how big this ship is under it. Almost like a veil. I guess Risley's not here. Alright, hello you two.
Courier, Miss Sejuin told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Hi.
Courier, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
We're fine, thanks.
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep.
Oh, I see. That's where
top
the
secret,
trap door
though,
leads.
So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Really not.
at all.
Why does everybody keep saying that? I don't see it. Higher. Hi, what's up? I know we've caused a massive amount of trouble for you, but I hope we've also helped out as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface?
Well, apparently we can take the elevator whenever we want, so, I mean, we have in and out privileges now.
Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere.
I don't think that's going to work.
He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sejuin's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Well, he is
Miss
super busy.
Clorenne has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sejuin.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorenne received lipstick instead.
Oh, okay.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it just means that she can use her
Neuvillette's
melazine
own
powers
fault
to
for
sense what
making
people
Sejuin
like.
worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies.
Aw, that's good.
Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Thanks.
Are these from Sejuin too?
Nope, they're from yours truly.
Okay.
You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
Well, it's a real prison worked.
Then we could stay here for a really long time?
That prison was so good that we just come here for a free hotel covered vacation. With a food covered and hotel room covered vacation. That's how good the prison is. Is the food still covered?
You may access the cafeteria for free. Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Okay. I think we should probably do that at some point.
Your file can't be closed until we've completed your paperwork, so don't forget to come find me again when you're done serving your sentence.
When is that gonna be? Return to the dormitories to rest. Yeah, when is our When is our prison sentence going to be up? We don't know how many days are left in it. We don't have to fight many things in this Archon quest. Usually there's at least one time we have to fight something. We haven't had to fight at all. It has just been lots and lots of investigation. Which has been fun. I like that kind of part of the story. But I do think it is odd that we didn't fight anything.
Though, so it really doesn't feel the same.
Oh no, you know what I realized though? We still don't know where Childe is. So we come back here, we're probably gonna see another dream from him again. Feels like a huge weight is off our shoulders. It feels like we regained our freedom. Except we haven't answered the main question of why we were sent here in the first place, is where is he? Where is Childe? We got better ideas of where he is, what happened to him, and what might happen to him, and what's happening in general. The only thing, like I said, is that we don't know where he is, and I feel like Childe is the missing piece that puts all the puzzle pieces we've learned tightly together in a way that makes a lot of sense. So, where is he?
Being free sure feels pretty special now.
Paimon, is there something you'd like to say?
Huh? How did you know?
Because usually you just fall asleep.
Hey, that's not true! Alright. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all.
Yes, I agree. We've survived a lot.
We've so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool?
They're smiling. Yeah, that is really cool. It is actually amazing that the two of us found each other and have gone on this long adventure. And yes, I do think both Aether and Paimon are hiding powers and parts of their past that we have not uncovered. But at the same time, just on its own, it's just amazing that they would meet and have this adventure together. Now, that being said, you're getting very sentimental all of a sudden, and last time you did that was in the Kari Bear quest, where we then fell asleep and had a very long dream of what happened after the Cataclysm. That was the entire Archon quest. So, where is this going, Paimon? And it might not even be you, but you're being sentimental all of a sudden, and I think it's leading into something else. But yes, we're the best adventurers ever.
You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here?
Yeah, I think a guide counts too.
Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well.
Yeah, actually that would be great.
Be an adventurer from today forward.
I said, can you actually fight the hilly trails and stuff like that?
Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too.
Good
the
night.
last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The Primordial Seawater nearly rose up. That was so
Prison was
scary.
so good, we actually came back here on our own.
We should be safe now, right?
We'll be fine, so don't worry, Paimon.
Alright then, good night to you, Traveler.
Good night to you too, Paimon. What's about to happen? What's about to happen? Okay. Childe! Wow. So big. What's the man there? Huh. Wow. Well, that doesn't really explain what happened to him. But he saw the same whale that he did when he was a kid and he fell into the abyss for the first time. So, definitely, somehow he is linked. Somehow, Childe and everything that's happened in his past is linked to the calamity that's about to unfold here. Let's have some fun with bubbles. Bubbles! The bubble blower is so much fun. Let's see. What we have here? We have all of our commissions, of course. Cataclysm's Quickening. Incomplete story quest. I know. Now we can do Neuvillette's. Continuing this quest will take resources from other quests and will cause the corresponding quests to be suspended. I mean, do you care to collaborate or not collaborate? Elaborate. They're probably just waiting for us to go and sign out with Risley, and we should go do that. Anyway, just saying. Yeah, now you can do this. Now you can unlock Neuvillette's quest. Alright, so definitely somehow or other. We still have his vision, right? So he's not dead. And somehow Childe has to do with this. In fact, I'd say he's the missing puzzle piece that connects the entire story together right now. Let's see. We learned a little bit more about Furina and Neuvillette. But like I said, I think Furina has some big decisions and lessons to learn and things to do in the next arc. In the final, I assume Act 5 will be the final act. Unless she really isn't the Hydro Archon. But the thing is, I think she is. And I think that the moral of the story is that that even someone as childish as her has to grow up someday. Even if the responsibility isn't something that she chose for herself, she's going to have to live up to it. And that's gonna be okay, because what she really needs to realize is that she doesn't have to do it all alone. That the relationships she has with people don't have to be very superficial and fake. She can have friends too that are there for her, right? That's why she's so lonely, because she hasn't found those people yet. But she has Neuvillette. I assume we're gonna help her out too. And I'm hoping that that's what happens. Now, I do have questions. So, like, the whole thing is that the Archon's power was taken partially from the dragons, right? And Neuvillette said he can't do anything unless he has his full power, which he can't as long as there's an Archon that exists that shares the power, right? So then, we know that only Venti and Zhongli are the Archons that have existed since the Archon War, and the 5 other Archons have come into power at other times since the Archon War, seemingly all around the time of the Khaenri'ah Cataclysm, which happened like over 1,000 years after the Archon War. Because that's when Makoto died and then A became the Electro Archon. That's when Rukkhadevata died, kinda. And then Nahida became the Dendro Archon. I'm surmising something similar is going to be the case as well. Because isn't it like, under the previous Hydro Archon, that's when the Oceanids appeared, but then after she passed away, that's when the Oceanids left because they could sense something was wrong with the water. Maybe the primordial water crisis? I don't know. But I'm gonna assume that that probably also happened around the time of the Cataclysm as well, which would mean that Furina would also be around the same age as Nahida. I realize we haven't answered the question yet. I mean, we're 5 nations in. We haven't answered the question yet of, like, is the Statue of the Seven the previous Archon or the current Archon? Because so far, in all cases, it's either Venti and Zhongli who are the original Archons from the Archon War, or it's been A and Nahida who take the exact same appearance as the previous Archon, and therefore we can't tell. So that's gonna be interesting to figure out as well. Oh, but what I was saying is, if the Archons have passed away, why is it a requirement that there has to be a new Archon who was born after them? And why doesn't that power just get returned to the dragons, as Neuvillette suggested? In every case, the power has been transferred over to another god. from Makoto to A, and then from Mukadavata to Kusanali or Nahida. I'm gonna assume it's something similar that happened to Furina as well. If she is the Archon. Which I think she is, but like... Well, Neuvillette is saying he's the dragon and he doesn't have the power, so obviously the power was not transferred to him. Why? It definitely has to do with Celestia, right? That Celestia, which is like the island in the sky watching over with all the gods. Definitely demands that there has to be an Archon at some point. And yet the Archons are not the original gods. Wait, isn't that what the name of the game means? Like Genshin? Doesn't that mean like original gods? We are delving deep into some stuff here. Every nation brings us closer to the truth of what happened in Teyvat. Not just farther back than the Cataclysm, even farther back than the Archon War, but just at everything. I'm gonna assume if Risley isn't here, then we're not ready to sign out of jail yet. Maybe we have to wait until his story quest, and otherwise we're not allowed to end our prison term officially yet. Although we seem to have in and out privileges and are not considered like exiles anymore. Which is interesting. Very, very interesting. Consolation. There we go. Yay! Now his water gun gets more power, right? Yeah. Water jet!
Water jet!
Yeah. Alright, well, I am really excited for what turns out to be happening in the next part. Like I said, presumably the final part of this Archon quest. Who really is our enemy here? Who are we trying to... I guess there is no enemy, really. It doesn't have to be. Just the upcoming threat is all we need to have. There's so many people in play now. We have Neuvillette and Furina. We have us. We have the House of the Hearth. And we have whatever ancient secrets lie beneath the sea. We have to learn what happened to the previous Hydro Archon. We have to learn what happened here. I don't know how much of that's revealed in the world quests that I haven't done yet. But yeah. And most importantly, we need to find out what happened to Childe. Is he okay? I mean, I think he's gonna be okay. But like... where is he? Whoops, hit this button. Alright, we only got 2, so that was a great amount of Hydroculus that we got here. Yeah, what happened to him? What is his link to this? Because once we know what his link to the entire story is, everything's gonna come together. That's for sure. But until then, we have to wait until the next update to see the story. So thank you all for watching. This has been a lot of fun. And I'm so glad we have our itty bitty little octo baby and our bubble blower now. Let's celebrate with bubbles everywhere. Yay! It's been a fun celebration week. And probably next I'll either do more exploring. I might go to the Fontaine Research Institute. Oh, you can see this is the broken, yeah, this ends here. This is the broken ferry track. Probably have something to do with the explosion that happened over there. So I'll either do that or I'm gonna do Neuvillette's story quest next. Probably. Or if you're following on the Archon quest, the next one is gonna be, of course, whatever happens in Act 5. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot going on next time. It's gonna be really fun. Every time it's been the last act of the Archon quest, it's blown me away, and yet it still keeps getting better and better. And I'm just really excited for how this is all going to wrap up, how this is all going to end. It's strange because at the end of the Sumeru Act 4 quest, there was like this sense of impending like danger. Like we need to do something. We have to save Nahida. We have to stop Scaramouche. We have to do this. But right now it just seems like we are almost like we are waiting. We are waiting in front of a big door that is just waiting to burst open. And we don't know when. It is, in fact, a doomsday clock. We are just waiting for one day for it to break and suddenly everything to go wrong. But we don't know when that's gonna be, so who knows? Who knows? Alright. I'm gonna end it off there, though. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye, everyone. Yeah.